Hello, this is Positive Vibes Enterprise. I am Tom Goodwin. This is Michelle Ronquillo.
Hi, everybody.
And this is Positive Vibes Enterprise, and the subject today is resistant energy.
Yes.
And the reason we're bringing it up is when we're trying to get our spiritual movement started and we're trying to reach new people, there's resistant energy that we have to overcome before the momentum can get started and we can get the ball rolling, so to speak, get things
Yes.
going. There's always, and when I talk about the resistant energy, people say, "Oh, we understand the resistant energy," and then they will go into conspiracies or extreme, type views of the world in which there's some real villains, that they're the resistant energy. The people over there are the resistant energy, or the people over on the other side of the resistant energy. And to me, the resistant energy is the status quo energy, the energy that is caught up in the delusion. They're locked in, and they're not willing to explore new options. In other words, they've figured it all out. They know what the resistant energy is clearly. Well, I don't clearly know necessarily. The resistant energy is not that clearly defined. There's a whole lot of people that are locked into different different delusions or status, or they're locked into the status quo, that they're
Yes.
not willing to move. And what is the status quo? It's just people that are in they want to stay in their comfort zone, and they don't want to move. They want to stay conforming to what already is out there that they're used to.
Yes. And when it comes to resistant energy, it can come in the forms of a lot of different things in your life that you need to be aware of. And it derives from the inside of you. If you're resistant to change, if you're resistant to the natural flow of what the universe is providing you, and is around you, you're going to feel the resistance and want to resist the energies of change. And it's so hard for people to change, and it's so hard for people to keep that open uh, door to new and flowing energies that are different from the mundane of what they're used to.
What we have to understand is we don't know all the answers. A lot of times things are not conclusive as to what really happened, and you have to be able to deal with the fact that you can't always get the answers. People like to be
Right.
self-righteous. I know what happened. I understand what happened, and they get all that way. But a lot of times in this world, what happened is hard to explain,
Yes.
and you don't need to explain everything. You have to understand that some things will never really be clearly explained. And you've got to keep that openness. You can't lock yourself in and figure out you already have all the answers, because there's so many mysteries in this world that will remain mysteries. And that's what's
Yes.
important, because that's what makes the world so wonderful, is the mysteries that we can't figure out, that we have to work on to understand better. But we're never going to have all the answers. We're never going to be able to put things together in a nice, neat package.
Yes, and to get polarized into one belief system is wrong, and it hurts your soul, and it hurts your growth patterns of evolvement spiritually. It's that resistant energies coming through to see if you're strong enough, if you have the right perceptions to dive through those resistant energies, see the realities of things. Do not create delusions or uh, fantasies or certain type of thought processes that will polarize you to be stuck in a certain belief system.
And we sort of, like you could say, we have our spiritual theories that we have a certain amount of belief in, but they're based on a rationality, a searching to try to figure out what will fit the best
Yes.
for the reality we exist in. So we are constantly into exploring and figuring things out and trying to solve puzzle after puzzle after puzzle.
Yes.
But we're not going to solve it necessarily completely because it's always going to be a little bit of the puzzle that hasn't been completed. Because you're never going to complete the puzzles of life. Because life is not meant to be completely solved. Life is meant to be continue to be a mystery because that's what makes it interesting. You don't understand everything. You don't have all the answers. So you can always be doing more research and trying to figure out
Yeah.
more.
I
I
was
mean,
just going to add to that that it is important that you search and you research, and the things that are a mystery to you, you trust that gut instinct, and you get the best resolve and best answer for your right now moment, and then you can evolve to change with the open-mindedness of new information coming through to evolve those thoughts and not be resistant to new information, new spiritual energies, and new things and ways around you that you can train your gut intuition.
and it's very important when you're dealing with physical phenomena or events that actually occur in our reality that you have hard evidence.
Yes.
Now, the reason we have a trial by jury and we have it where they have to really prove it really hard and get some hard, solid evidence or get really a good predominance of evidence is because people who are innocent get accused when the, because sometimes it appears like that like they're guilty when they're not. The appearance, but they're not the hard evidence. A lot of times people are in the wrong place at the wrong time and they get
Yes.
swept in and it appears like they're guilty, but so often people who are innocent get judged as guilty. That's why you have to always say the jury is not in on this. We do not have enough evidence and be satisfied with this. You can't catch everybody, and if you try to catch everybody that's doing wrong, you're going to end up catching the wrong people. So you just catch the people that you have the solid evidence on, and the real villains, you're going to catch them sometime with solid evidence. You
Yes.
just have to keep working at it.
Yes, definitely. And today's society is so quick to judge everything and every situation. And then it's like telephone, the game telephone, where one person says something, then you go around the whole room and it's completely different than what was already said. So we have a society that is quick to judge and follows different stories that may not have of the reliable source. And then you become a sheep, you become a follower, not a leader. And the leaders are going to research, the leaders are going to fill out which reality based thought energies is going to work for them and work for the reality based of the culture.
And people will get so caught up in certain doctrine, they get so self-righteous. This is the doctrine that applies to everything or whatever. And
Yes.
that's what you have to be really careful. You wonder why there's resistant energy. Well, people are locked in to a certain way of looking at things. Then they're not open to
Yes.
that which is new. And so often you'll find in history that the great innovators have been up against that kind of resistance which says,
Yes.
"Who are you to dare? Who are you to go up against all these noted scientists and all these people
Exactly.
that and all this energy, the resistant energy that's so sure they're right." And the more sure, when you get that overconfidence and you're so sure you're right, you can be sure that you're not that right.
Yeah, exactly. Overconfidence goes into absolutes, and absolutes will have holes in it every time, because in the spiritual, in the energies that aren't resistant, literally is gonna be pain. There's gonna be faces of things that challenge you, that are going to tap into those things that you have to flow and get right for your own evolvement.
And a lot of people in this world have been abused, have been wounded, and they're hurting.
Yes.
And that wound makes it hard for them to grow emotionally, to grow spiritually,
Yes.
because they have to face their wounds and they have to heal their wounds in order to grow further. And with my spiritual training program, it's very difficult, it's very rough, And your wounds are going to come out when you're doing the training. Anything is that makes you not feel capable of handling the harsh reality, it's going to come out, and you have to heal it. And you can
Yeah.
heal it by doing it, but you can't heal it if the wounds you have are justified by conspiracy theories or all kinds of irrational or delusional beliefs, which a lot of times delusional beliefs are very comforting to people who have been abused or wounded. There's a certain fantasies and can be very addictive. It can be intoxicating.
So much so that people that are locked into this delusion of healing, uh, twisted healing, so to speak, because they don't want to face the traumas that are in their life. The words of inspiration, the words of motivation, the words of change don't stick. It goes in one ear and out the other until you are open for the information that is out there for you, uh, beyond your normal belief system. You're going to stay stuck in a stagnant state of mind. So, really pay attention on how well you are listening. How well are you listening to the universe? How well are you listening to your body? How well are you listening to your spirit, your gut intuition? And how well are you listening to the critical positive changes that people are saying, like, Tom, he would never steer anyone wrong. And when something comes out that is hurtful, it's a reflection of what you need to face inside. So sometimes people block that because they don't want to change, or they're in denial, or they think they're so rooted in the right that there's no forward movement into change. And that's where people can get locked up. And you have to be wary of that. Be watchful of that resistant energies that are trying to do that.
Um, reality can be really rough. It's hard. The truth can be very painful.
Yes.
And with my training, you say the training hurts, it's painful and difficult, but it's the type of hurt or pain that makes you stronger because it's done in a particular way, like in training to make you stronger. It
Yes.
isn't some wound that you're not trying to make stronger. It's what you're doing is you're facing the hard side of life. You're
Exactly.
challenging yourself, and then whatever vulnerability, the weaknesses will come out, and that you will feel them. It will be difficult and challenging, but as you get stronger, you'll be able to
Yes.
handle more and more of the hard energy, the painful energy, and you'll be able to heal the wounds you have, so you'll become more capable. So you could be able to handle more. Um, and be able to deal with conditions that a lot of people couldn't stand up to. You'll be able to stand up when everybody else will be exhausted and dropping because you develop that kind of strength that you can handle the difficulty and the duress.
Correct. And I think that going into the resistant energy is when you flip the coin into positive. There's always dwelling thoughts. There's always negative thoughts that come in with resistant energy. And those are the times that you have to build your confidence through the positive and not dwell on the negative coming in. Because the more you put the dwelling in the negative sense, it is the resistance of you getting through it. So as you are going through this resistant time, pull in the positive thoughts, pull in the positive strengths of you, the qualities of you that have overcome, the qualities of you that have pushed in the harshest times of your life. You survived it and you got through, and you used that momentum, that memory, that positive into thrusting you forward into healing those times where you beat yourself up, or you have those resistant negative thoughts coming in saying that you can't do it. In reality, you can. When you find the strength lying inside of you, you can always beat that resistant energy.
And what you have to understand is the resistant energy exists for a reason, and it's sort of like it's the point in which you have to develop a certain strength to
Yes.
overcome the problems in this world, and the problems are pretty stuck, and they're not easy to move. So you're going to run into resistant energy, and you have to accept it as a fact of life.
Right.
That if the resistant energy wasn't there, and you didn't get the strength, you would end up not being able to achieve what you want to achieve in the world.
Yes.
So you have to have the resistant energy, and then when you overcome the resistant energy, then you know you're capable of doing what you need to do.
Yes.
You know you have the strength, because it's just like lifting weights. You're going up against resistant energy. You have to lift a weight equivalent to what is required in order to deal with the poundage that you're going to have to deal with in life.
Right. And another way of testing your strength against resistant energies is through money. Every time you spend money, feel that the energy is going out and back in, just like the waves. Out, give, and receive. And so don't lock yourself into, oh, I have to hoard this last bit of money because I need this or that. Or, oh, my responsibility says that this and that is going to, craze me and make me feel like I am powerless over money. When reality, it is the energies. It's a resistant energy that you can fight and understand the positive of what money can do for you in that sense.
And of course, I've lived a life where money has been um, hard to come by, and I've really had to hold on to it because my survival depended on it. But the thing with money is you want to make, whenever you utilize the money, you want to make sure it's utilized in a way that will bring positive consequences.
Yes, no stress.
In other words, you want to have the right intent. You want to make
Yes.
sure that the money is well spent, that it is put in a
Rational way.
that you're investing it in something worth investing it in.
Yes.
In other words, you don't want to throw it or waste it. There's so much money in this world that's wasted.
Yes.
And
when you're paying bills and you're getting food, you're not wasting it. That's going for a very good cause. So get that delusion out of your head.
you have to take good care of yourself, or you're
Yes,
not going to be
please
effective.
do.
So you have to spend your money on the things that count and not on the things that don't count.
Right. And no worrying or stress of how your needs will be met, because the universe will always match your needs when you put out that energy of that's what you need to do with the actions, is bring in that financial, because we all know that in this world and economy, and it's getting more and more expensive to even live and provide for your family. But with the resistant energies, we do not want to stress on how that is going to come about. You have to have the positive, just like the unseen spiritual. You don't want that resistance going out there of doubt and fear and worry of how that's going to happen. No, you build that confidence that you're doing the right thing. Your motives are pure. Your intent is good. So it's going to come in, receive, give, and receive, and it's going to balance in your life.
And if you have it really push yourself hard and you're really serious, you'll automatically have a tendency to try to make the most of the money you have. And if you're like me, having depended on other people for the money, whenever you get money from other people, you have to make sure that you respect the fact that they gave you that money.
Correct.
And you try to utilize it as carefully and as well as you possibly can. And any organization that takes in charity or whatever has to have that attitude that they're spending the money very well, that they have gotten from their donors.
Well, anything in the spiritual will always come back to integrity, and that is doing the right thing when no one is looking. And that spiritual integrity is those energies that beat the resistant energies that are out there trying to attack you. Because if you have good integrity, you have good motives, you have good rational ideas of what you want to do or what you want to achieve in this world, and you go forth in those actions, you will be taken care of. And yeah, there's challenges that come up for everybody in every type of situation, but with the training and with the understanding and the perceptions of the positive, you will pass through it like a breeze. It'll be easy for you because you understand where that resistant energy is and where you can defeat that resistant energies with the positive flows.
Yes. So this is Positive Vibes Enterprise. The subject today has been resistant energy. I hope people have been enlightened or inspired in some way,
Yes.
please ask other people to watch
If you have
and
any questions, please leave us comments down below.
yeah, we are not opposed to people questioning us because well we love to elaborate. If
Yes.
you question me, that makes me able to elaborate further
Yes.
and further, and that's always good for me.
One great question. In the meditative state, you can lower your energy frequency to that lower vibration that you can clearly pierce in to all the topics that we talk about. I challenge all of you to do that.
Yeah, the meditative state does
Yes.
help you to become a lot more receptive to all kinds of things.
Yes.
Provided they hit the heart and soul and their
Passion, we always say that is the key to spiritual.
So thank you for watching, and please subscribe
Yes.
to our YouTube site. We appreciate all the people that are loyal to us so far.
Yes, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more awesome.
And we would really like more people. We really want the word to be spread. That's
Yes.
how we will overcome the resistant energy.
Yay!
Get more people
That's
behind
it.
us. That will make a big difference. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.